The tale of the Mahabharata is a saga of epic proportions, a narrative that spans generations and encompasses the full spectrum of human emotions and experiences. It is not just a story, but a grand tapestry of life, filled with lessons, morals, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. It is a story woven through generations, each thread representing a life, a choice, a destiny. The Mahabharata is a chronicle of the Kuru dynasty, a family whose fate was intertwined with the destiny of an entire nation. At its heart lies the power struggle within the Kuru dynasty, a struggle that would eventually lead to one of the greatest wars in ancient history. The royal court of Hastinapur was a place of grandeur and intrigue, where alliances were forged and broken, and where the seeds of discord were sown. The lineage itself was wrought with complexities and power struggles, each generation adding to the intricate web of relationships and rivalries. The Kuru dynasty was a family bound by blood, but divided by ambition and desire. These set the stage for the central conflict of the epic, a conflict that would pit brother against brother and friend against friend. The battlefield of Kurukshetra would become the ultimate arena where these rivalries would be settled. King Shantanu, a ruler of the Kuru dynasty, had a son named Bhishma. Shantanu's reign was marked by prosperity and peace, but his personal life was fraught with challenges that would have far-reaching consequences. Bhishma was known for his valor and unwavering adherence to Dharma. His commitment to righteousness and his formidable skills as a warrior made him a revered figure. But his life was also marked by sacrifice and unfulfilled desires. He renounced his claim to the throne to fulfill his father's wish, a vow that would shape the future of the Kuru dynasty. This act of renunciation was both noble and tragic, setting the stage for future conflicts. This sacrifice cast a long shadow on the future of the Kuru dynasty. Shantanu later married Satyavati, a union that would bring new challenges and complexities to the royal family. They had two sons, Chitrangada and Vichitraveera. These princes were the hope of the dynasty. Their untimely deaths would plunge the family into fate. Both of his sons died, without a direct heir. Their losses were the dynasty ascendancy. Satyavati then ruled upon her eldest son Vyasa, father of God, sixth son. Vyasa, a sage of great wisdom and mercy, agreed to this unusual marriage, understanding the importance of preserving the women. This led to the birth of Duryodhana, and each of the sons would bear their lives intertwined with the fate of the dynasty. Dhritarashtra, born blind, was denied the throne due to his disability. This decision, though practical, sowed the seeds of resentment and rivalry that would later erupt into full-blown conflict. Pandu became king, marrying Kunti and Manu. His reign was seen as a new beginning for the Kuru dynasty, but fate had other. However, Pandu's life was cut short. His untimely death left a void in the leadership of the Kuru dynasty, a void that would be filled with strife. His death left his 5 sons, where the seeds of future conflicts were sown. This complex web of relationships and the unfulfilled desires of previous generations created a fatal conflict. The ambitions and desires would soon clash, leading to a struggle for power and dynasty. The stage was set for an epic clash between the Pandavas and Kauravas. The battlefield of Kurukshetra would witness a war that was not just a physical battle, but a moral and ethical struggle as well. Their childhood would be a crucible, shaping their personalities and destinies in ways none could have foreseen. The lessons they learned, the friendships they forged, and the rivalries that developed would all play a part in the epic saga that was to unfold. The Pandavas and Kauravas, though cousins, were as different as night and day. Their upbringing in the same royal household did little to bridge the chasm between their personalities. From an early age, their distinct traits began to manifest, setting the stage for the epic saga that would unfold. Their contrasting personalities were evident from a young age. While the Pandavas were often seen as noble and virtuous, The Kauravas displayed a more ambitious and sometimes ruthless streak. These early signs were harbingers of the roles they would play in the grand narrative of their lives. These differences would play a crucial role in the unfolding drama of their lives. The tension between the two groups was palpable, like storm clouds gathering on the horizon, ready to unleash a tempest that would change the course of history. Yudhishthira, the eldest Pandava, was known for his unwavering righteousness and adherence to Dharma. His calm demeanor and steadfast commitment to truth made him a beacon of virtue in a world often clouded by moral ambiguity. He was a man of his word, always striving to do what was right, no matter the cost. His integrity was his greatest strength, but it also made him vulnerable to the machinations of those who did not share his moral compass. Bhima, the second Pandava, possessed immense physical strength and a fiery temper. His formidable presence on the battlefield was matched only by his fierce loyalty to his family. His strength was both a weapon and a shield, protecting those he loved. He was fiercely protective of his brothers, especially Arjuna. This protective instinct often put him at odds with the Kauravas, who saw his strength as a direct threat to their ambitions. Arjuna, the third Pandava, was a prodigy in archery and warfare. His skills were unparalleled, earning him the admiration of allies and the envy of foes. His dedication to his craft was evident in every arrow he released, each one a testament to his discipline and focus. He was known for his focus, discipline, and unwavering determination. These qualities made him a formidable warrior and a natural leader, inspiring those around him to strive for excellence. Nakula and Sahadeva, the twins, were skilled in horsemanship and swordsmanship respectively. Their complementary skills made them a dynamic duo on the battlefield, each one enhancing the other's strengths. They were inseparable and deeply loyal to their brothers. Their bond was unbreakable, forged in the fires of shared trials and tribulations. This loyalty was a cornerstone of the Pandavas' unity and strength. On the other hand, Duryodhana, the eldest Kaurava, was ambitious and consumed by a desire for power. His ambition was a double-edged sword, driving him to great heights, but also leading him down a path of envy and resentment. He resented the Pandavas, viewing them as obstacles to his claim to the throne. This resentment festered over the years, turning into a deep-seated hatred that would eventually ignite the flames of conflict. Dushasana, his loyal younger brother, mirrored his envy and often acted as his enforcer. His loyalty to Duryodhana was unwavering, and he played a crucial role in executing his brother's schemes. These stark differences in temperament and ambition, simmering beneath the surface, would soon erupt. The palace, once a place of learning and camaraderie, became a battleground of conflicting desires and ambitions. The shared childhood of the Pandavas and Kauravas became a breeding ground for resentment, jealousy, and ultimately, hatred. The seeds of discord sown in their youth would grow into a full-blown conflict, shaping the destiny of an entire era. The young princes began their education under the tutelage of Kripacharya, a respected sage and the royal preceptor. Kripacharya was not just a teacher, he was a guiding light, a beacon of wisdom in the lives of these young royals. His knowledge was vast, encompassing the sacred texts, the Vedas, and the intricate art of warfare. He was a master of Dharma, the moral and ethical code that was the foundation of their society. He instructed them in the Vedas, the art of warfare, and the principles of Dharma. The lessons were rigorous, designed to mold them into future leaders and warriors. The young princes learned to wield weapons, strategize in battle, and understand the deeper meanings of life and duty. They were taught to balance strength with wisdom and power with compassion. However, even in this shared learning environment, the seeds of rivalry continued to grow. The competitive spirit among the princes was fierce. Each day brought new challenges and new opportunities to prove their worth. The training grounds became a battleground of egos, where every victory was celebrated and every defeat was a bitter pill to swallow. Duryodhana, driven by his ambition and fueled by his jealousy of the Pandavas' talents, grew increasingly resentful. He could not bear to see his cousins excel, especially Bhima and Arjuna, whose skills seemed to overshadow his own. His heart burned with envy, and his mind was constantly plotting ways to bring them down. He saw Bhima's physical prowess as a direct threat, and Arjuna's skill with the bow filled him with envy. Bhima's strength was legendary, and Arjuna's archery was unparalleled. Duryodhana felt overshadowed, his own abilities paling in comparison. This sense of inadequacy gnawed at him, turning his admiration into animosity. He constantly sought ways to undermine and humiliate them. His mind was a cauldron of schemes, each more devious than the last. He whispered in the ears of his brothers, sowing seeds of discord and encouraging them to join him in his plots. His ambition knew no bounds, and he was willing to go to any lengths to see the Pandavas fall. His attempts to outshine the Pandavas often backfired, further fueling his anger and resentment. Every failure was a blow to his pride, and every success of the Pandavas was a reminder of his own shortcomings. His frustration grew, and with it, his determination to find a way to defeat them. He resorted to underhanded tactics and encouraged his brothers to do the same. Deception became his weapon of choice, and he used it with ruthless efficiency. He believed that if he could not win through fair means, then he would win through foul. His brothers, loyal to him, followed his lead, and together they wove a web of deceit. The once playful competition among cousins began to morph into something darker and more sinister. The camaraderie of their early years was replaced by suspicion and hostility. The training grounds, once a place of learning and growth, became a stage for their bitter rivalry. The atmosphere was charged with tension, and every interaction was fraught with the potential for conflict. Kripacharya, though a wise and discerning teacher, struggled to contain the growing animosity between his pupils. He saw the changes in them, the hardening of their hearts, and the sharpening of their words. He tried to mediate, to remind them of their shared heritage and the bonds of family that should unite them. He reprimanded their misbehavior and stressed the importance of unity and respect. His words were filled with wisdom, urging them to rise above their petty differences and to see the bigger picture. He spoke of the strength that comes from unity and the destruction that follows division. However, his words seemed to fall on deaf ears as the rivalry between the Pandavas and Kauravas intensified with each passing day. The seeds of discord had taken root, and no amount of wisdom could uproot them. The stage was set for a conflict that would shape their destinies and echo through the ages. The arrival of Dronacharya, a master archer and renowned warrior, as the new preceptor marked a turning point. Dronacharya's exceptional skills and knowledge made him a sought-after teacher, and his presence in Hastinapur further inflamed the rivalry between the Pandavas and Kauravas. Duryodhana, ever eager to prove himself, sought to win Dronacharya's favor. However, it was Arjuna, with his natural talent, discipline, and unwavering focus, who quickly became Dronacharya's prized pupil. Arjuna's dedication and rapid progress in archery only intensified Duryodhana's envy. Sensing his favorite student's plight, Dronacharya promised Arjuna that he would make him the greatest archer in the world. This vow further fueled Duryodhana's resentment and solidified his determination to see the Pandavas destroyed. The rivalry, once restricted to childish pranks and petty squabbles, escalated under Dronacharya's tutelage. The stakes were higher, the competition fiercer, and the consequences dire. The arrival of Dronacharya, while intended to hone the skills of the Kuru princes, inadvertently fanned the flames of jealousy and hatred that would eventually consume them all.